Hey there, my name is Megan. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I made over some built-ins in my home. I added some gorgeous arches and just gave them a fresh new look. If you're new here, my husband and I bought a 1903 Colonial about a year and a half ago. I do a lot of DIY and home content here on my channel. Please make sure you follow me on Instagram. My name is @MeganBellMade. I show a lot of my everyday life and what projects I'm doing in real time. So before I go through this project step by step, let me show you what these built-ins look like before I got started. So just to give you an idea of the space, this is sort of like a foyer here at the top of our main stairs. It's a meeting area between our master bedroom, our master bathroom, and our closet room, which you may be familiar with. And these are the built-ins that I'll be working on. They've been built around the door that leads to our master bathroom, and as you can see, they've been painted a sort of yellowish off-white. There's a very crooked shelf above the doorway, and as much as I would love to remove it and add a transom, I realized upon investigating the master bathroom that the ceiling has been dropped in there. So the space above the door inside the bathroom is much lower than the space above the door out in the hallway. So a transom is simply not in the cards for us unless we were to change the ceiling in the bathroom, which we're not going to do. But with or without a transom, I still needed to get this shelf out, and I wanted to just see just how off kilter it was. And you can see I put my level up here. It is way off, and when I lift it on one side to make it level, it's like an inch difference. So this thing needed to come out. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got it down.
Okay. Woo! I like it more better.
When I removed that shelf above the doorway, I definitely left behind some damage, so I'm just using some DAP spackling to smooth everything out on the plaster that's above the doorway, and then I'm going to sand everything smooth once it's dry. Now I have sort of hacked my orbital sander so that it is connected to my shop vac. I literally just take painter's tape and connect the shop vac hose to the back end of my orbital where the canister usually would go, and it collects 99% of the dust that is produced when I'm sanding. Awesome hack, very affordable. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just sanding this plaster above the door frame nice and smooth, and getting it ready to be painted. Unfortunately, a lot of the trim and cabinetry in my house has been previously painted with oil paint, and these built-ins are no exception. They were previously painted with oil paint. So I am actually using a product from Benjamin Moore. It is a direct to metal paint. I had them mix it in a Faro and Ball color called Railings, and I don't have to prime, I don't have to sand. I'm able to just paint directly over the previously painted oil paint here on these built-ins. Most people are not going to have this issue, but I still will link everything below in the description box just so you know what I'm using. I'm all about using whatever materials you already have on hand. I happen to have a couple of scrap 3/4 inch pieces of plywood, which are going to be perfect for making my arches. Unfortunately, when I measured the width of my Builtins, it happens to be that one side is smaller than the other. So I'm going to have to do 2 different size arches, but one thing that is going to be the same is the height of the arches. So I'm cutting both pieces down to the same height, and I'm just using a circular saw because it's very easy to just drop it in. Of course, you can use a table saw here if you have. You could even use a jigsaw if that's all you have on hand. And now it's time to actually cut the arches in these pieces of plywood. So I took a scrap piece of wood and I nailed it to the very center of the bottom of my piece of plywood. This is as simple as it gets. I just took my pencil, put it on the edge, and then followed it around, just pushing that scrap piece of plywood as I went. And I checked it a couple of times and it just came out perfectly every time. I'm just using a jigsaw to cut out this arch shape here, and this is a tool that you could have used instead of the circular saw. I find this to be really easy to use as long as it has a really nice sharp blade. I will put a link in the description box for all of the tools I'm using in this video. And now I'm just using a bit of sandpaper to go back all around the edges of the arch and make sure they're nice and smooth. In order to attach these to the existing frame of the Builtins, I'm going to use my Craig jig to make a series of pocket holes. I'm going to do 2 sets at the top and 2 sets on the sides, and that way I can attach them from behind and you'll never see any screws. I gotta tell you, it is so hard not to go in and put all the shelves in right now because I want to see what it looks like. But I need to paint the exterior first, so let's do that. Just kidding. First, I need to caulk because there's lots of cracks and things. You can see here where the plywood just kind of, where my cut got really thin, it kind of broke off, so it's got this really uneven area here. I thought about just cutting it off straight, but what I would like to do is to add some wood filler here and make it look really nice and seamless. So I'm going to see how that comes out. I'm just going to add it into here. I always like to really press it in so there's no gaps. And then once it's dry, I'll sand it nice and smooth. Okay, so one of you messaged me on Instagram and asked if I was going to add picture lights to the bookshelves, and I had not thought of it. So thank you, whoever you are, for doing that, because I think it's such a great idea. I ordered some on Amazon and they are battery operated. They're so pretty, I'm gonna put it like that. So pretty. This is the brass color. I'm gonna link them below like I do everything else. And I got a really good idea with this for hanging because I don't wanna put any holes in the bookshelves, in the new arches. I don't wanna do anything to mess it up because I'm not super committed to this idea anyway. But also I don't wanna have to hardwire them. So like I said, they're battery operated. I can unplug them, recharge them, comes with a remote. And this is the backing where it attaches. And I think I can use command strips to attach this. And then it's really no commitment, right? So it's super lightweight and I think this is gonna work. So I'm gonna try it. I really love how these built-ins turned out. I still have lots of space for our growing library, so I didn't over-decorate them. And I just love how all of the various colors and designs on the spines of the books really complement this railings color. I don't feel compelled to turn any of my books around to make it more aesthetically pleasing. I also love the added touch of the picture lights. I really feel like it gives it a really nice, sophisticated look that I was kind of not expecting to get from this project. So I also love that they came with this remote. I can just turn them on or off. I can set a timer, and when I'm done with it, I just tuck it away in this little brass dish. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to me here on my channel, and I will see you on the next one.